Okay,
this is a little funny here. Out to people.
Do you wake up every morning and you're like, Peter, I need to talk to you. You're not really living up to your standards. There's a little problem here, Peter. Do you do that?
In my brain.
In your brain.
Yeah.
You can't manage yourself? How does one manage yourself? Okay, we'll get into work later. Okay, this is fun. I like this. Ricky, tell us some of the tasks that you're doing, and I'll repeat it for the people that are tuning in. All right, here, I'll bring you the mic. Wait, hold on. I'll bring you the mic. Here.
Thank you. I got 9 hours for work. I got a half hour to drive.
9 hours for work? Are you sure about that? Are you sure about that? What are you talking about?
Do you see the 637 subscribers? That's a lot of time and effort.
Are you saying you single-handedly bring in the 637,000?
I'm saying I'm doing something.
Okay.
So I'm here 10 to 7.
There's a lot of fudging there.
I'm here 10 to 7.
9 hours at work. You have to think really about what you're doing at work. First of all, we run an 8-hour day. Okay?
Yeah, I count.
So there's lunch in there.
Yeah.
And write down lunch. If there's checking social media, put in that. You need to have a better audit of your time. Just don't write work, because it's really not true. I know because I see you most of the time. I'm just saying.
I know what you're talking about.
I do. I guess I'm managing you, so I see it.
You got
right?
a couple more people.
Okay.
All
We're
right,
almost
so
done here. I didn't expect this to take as long as it's taking to write down your typical day.
Well,
Okay.
to be fair, Peter hadn't thought of it.
Yeah. You're not as mindful of your time. Right. So what we're doing right now is we're doing what is referred to as a time audit.
Okay.
And for this to be really accurate, you'd want to do this over a length of time. Okay, Ricky, we'll get to yours in a second.
All right.
You know what? I'll put yours on the side here. Okay, let's see how Ricky spends his time.
Yikes.
So he spends an hour on social media a day. Yeah, you can exchange it. Doing nothing.
So there's like,
You're doing something.
I'm literally just like, I just
Veg
get
on the
home, just sit down.
Lady time. Are you sure about this? You spend an hour on lady time? Okay, if you are dating Ricky right now, please let us know in the comments. Is this true or not? Okay, so he's got Netflix on here. Okay, this is very good.
What's wrong with that, Joe?
Nothing wrong with that. No judging. All shapes, sizes, colors. Drive. You can drive half an hour a day. Okay. That's part of your commute, right? So 15 minutes each way. You live pretty close by.
I live very close.
I'm gonna have to re-examine this contract, right?
Well, okay. I just feel my only thing is that like I can't do anything else during work, so it would be inaccurate.
Right, but what are you doing at work?
Would you like
See,
me
this
to-
is really like if you were an independent contractor, you could start to evaluate like how you spend your work time.
So you would you would like say like, okay, so for the first half of the morning today, for example,
check email.
I didn't check email.
But whatever it is.
Yeah, I edited a video on brands.
Right, but we're gonna try to do that like an average day. So how much time do you spend
editing?
How much time you spend in meetings? So we're trying to recapture that because you may discover something that's really important. Okay?
But what about if like I find that I spend 2 hours in meetings every day, but I can't allocate that time?
Don't get ahead of me.
I see.
What we want to do is get an accurate snapshot first.
I understand.
So this is perfect, actually. So let's take some of your work things down and put more detail into it. So when you say editing, write editing.
Okay.
Okay. So go ahead and do it. Grab your things, and Peter, let's keep going. No. What are you doing? You're going to take these and just write on them.
Oh,
Just transfer. Yeah. Go ahead and write them. Okay. So while Ricky's doing that, where are your blue ones? Did you exchange your yellow? That's fine. Right. So Ricky didn't write that. He doesn't bathe. You got to put that in there too. What kind of chores do you do, Peter? Okay, there's more YouTube here. Okay. More YouTube. Wow, you spent a lot of time on YouTube, man. Okay, that's kind of... Yeah, I know, but our audience doesn't know this, right? So I have to give them the same reaction I'm giving you. What are you doing right now? You're checking your time again? Here, you got to keep the mic.
Okay.
Wait, did you add an extra hour to your life?
No, I didn't. I took one.
You gave me one back, right?
I gave you the
You
one.
took 2 blues? Okay, great. Okay, Ricky, let's take a look at your time now. What are you doing? You stand on that side. Give me my marker back. Okay, stay over here.
Yeah, I realized.
All right. Why don't you grab the mic from Peter? I should have 2 mics.
That would have made sense.
Okay, we still can do it. It's not the end of the thing. Okay, so you spend about 30 minutes driving.
Mm-hmm.
What does you work?
Personal work.
What does that mean? That's so generic. I don't know what personal work means.
Just like side projects or something like that. That's what I'm
I'll
trying.
move this down so everybody can see it.
Okay.
You work. Okay, it's very, very important to us right now to know exactly how you spend your time. So let's look at this. So there's no time to shower or get ready.
That's chores, personal time, like
Again,
I can't add up because it takes me.
Well,
you know.
No, let's do this. The way this works best is that we need to be able to break this stuff down.
Okay.
So everybody that's doing this at home, really get into the nitty gritty of it, how you spend your day. So I'm going to break that into 2 pieces, okay?
Okay.
So we're going to exchange a 1-hour block for 30-minute blocks. Okay. So you must at least spend 30 minutes showering and brushing your teeth every day.
Yes.
Twice a day. So we'll call that bathing, showering, personal hygiene.
Yeah.
Okay. I hope. Personal hygiene. You smell them?
Jonas sits behind
Now,
me. He knows.
There's another person here that it's not here right now, but questionable showering techniques. I'm just gonna say. And what are chores? What do you do for chores?
I gotta do, more normal stuff. I live alone, so anything.
Like what? Vacuum cleaning?
Dishes.
Toilet?
I gotta fluff the pillows.
For who? Who are you fluffing the pillows for?
Well, there's an hour up there for something.
Okay. We'll write chores. Fluffing pillows.
Yeah,
Don't make me
there
write
you
fluffing
go,
pillows,
there you
dude.
go.
Okay, there we go. Now let's just do the math real quick. This is supposed to add up to 18, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Your time still works out. So you're saying you're spending about 3 hours at the office doing editing. That seems legitimate. I do see you at the machine for about 3 hours a day. What are these other 2 generic work things? Meetings? Oh, look at this. You got all this work. I'm really
I didn't get to write
curious.
editing more. Put editing more. And you can put setup. There's gear setup like
Oh,
this.
okay. So
live
gear
stream
setup, is
stuff.
that about an hour's worth every day?
That's 1 to 2.
Okay,
depending on the setup.
so we'll call that production, okay?
Yeah,
So we'll call it production so that we know. This is like getting gear up and down, right?
Yeah, I'd put 2
Okay.
of those. Yeah.
Okay. Now we're starting to see how your day works, see? Versus just being a generic look at it. You still have 3 more hours of work here. Where's lunch in here?
Well,
Do
yeah,
you know
one
your
of them
lunch?
is lunch.
Well, I know one of them's lunch. At least.
Yeah, so yeah, we got to
Okay,
put one on
lunch.
lunch.
That's
It's
not
tough.
work. It's not
out
work,
here.
dude. It's not work. What else?
There's review. So you got
Meetings? What do you mean, review? Who are you reviewing?
You just got to go through other people's work. You got to go through your own work. It's not necessarily editing, but you have to review the work and look at other work. QC.
That's all part of the editing process as far as I'm concerned.
Okay.
You cannot edit.
Jonah, help me
without
out. Throw me a
looking at
bone.
it. What do you see Ricky doing? I see him standing there loitering, making coffee most of the time and
Oh,
just
yeah.
rambling about. So we're going to talk about... No, he already said that. I'm going to say, at minimum, every single day, I see you at least on an hour's worth of breaks.
An hour's worth of breaks?
When you're not doing meetings, working, or reviewing.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, at least, okay? So I'm going to put that there.
Boom, roasted.
I mean, I'm just saying at least. And so tomorrow what you can do is take out a piece of paper and actually write down what you're doing.
Okay.
And this is part of Peter Drucker's thing. He says our memory and our imagination of what we do is drastically different compared to what we actually do.
Oh, no, that's true because I be sprinting all the time. And when you sprint, you got to take 20-minute breaks after. So you know what? That's right. That makes sense.
Yeah, so this is not actually reality. This is probably fiction. But even in our conception of the fiction of how we spend our time, we do really need to look at this, okay? What else is in here that's not in here? You read an hour a day? That's shocking. This is a new habit?
Yeah.
Okay, you can't, it's just like, it started like, what, the last month, 2 months?
Last 4 months.
Okay, last 4 months you've been doing this. That's
Yeah, I've
great.
been
I
reading
love
the book,
hearing about that.
reading
Okay. And so you watch 1 hour of Netflix and you're eating, okay? This is dinner, right? So we'll just write dinner here.
Yeah.
At least. At least that's how you spend your time. You only spend an hour on social media? Are you sure?
You could probably put another hour.
I already know it's going to be another hour. Because
all right, let's
if you
do-
check the social media report on your phone,
Yeah.
doesn't it tell you like 4.5 hours?
Yeah, you know,
It tells you a
not
lot.
accurate.
It's 100% accurate, actually. Okay. What does it say?
It says 2 hours.
2 hours a week or a day?
2 hours a day.
Okay. We have to take something down. 'cause the
Just
math
change-
doesn't
just-
add up.
Yeah.
Take it out another work. I know you spend 2 hours in the gym.
Yeah, that's true.
There's really not a lot here that you can take away from this.
It's probably, you know, this probably gets cut a little bit and this probably gets inflated a little bit. I don't know if it's
Okay, so we'll
30.
break that into 2 parts, okay?
Okay.
So we'll do one for social media. See how your day is tracking a little bit different than what your
Just a
imagination is? See this
smidge.
exercise? Just a smidge. So we'll exchange that. Okay, and we'll take down read. We'll exchange that for 1 read, okay?
Mhm.
So everybody is tuning in. Remember, the blue Post-its are 30 minutes, and the yellow Post-its are 1 hour chunks.
Am I
We're
just
looking
getting
at this like
creamed
money.
in the comments, Jonah?
No, don't worry about what you're getting creamed on. Okay, all right. Okay, why don't you step aside now? Thank you very much. Now in for Peter. Peter, let's look at you.
All right.
YouTube. Let's organize these things together. Why don't you block all the YouTube things together? Are they already there?
YouTube, learning.
Okay.
books.
Yep, yep.
You want to take this out?
No, take that out. Okay, put it somewhere else.
Video games.
Yeah,
social media.
that's right. And put this next to work. So there's learning, there's working, there's consuming media, there's entertainment, and I also
And I guess
see.
This is kind of like you want
you
to
don't
make it
shout.
longer.
No, do whatever you want to do. I want it to be
Okay.
accurate.
All right, cool. Then this is like that. This is kind of like. I guess.
Isn't that work?
is
Network?
Is it work? Yeah, I guess.
Yeah,
it is work.
I believe it is work.
Okay.
This is you learning, okay?
Learning.
And chores I'm gonna keep over here.
This is
You
here.
just took this from here. Let me do this for you.
Oh, did I?
You literally took that off and you put
oh,
it
yeah,
in the
'cause
same
we were
spot.
trying to do YouTube.
Yeah, this is fine. I'll leave it where we can. Okay. So a lot of entertainment time. Chores, self-care, working out. This is yeah, okay, these are all good. I don't know. This is you. I didn't write that. Oh, I'm sorry.
It's yellow.
I'm sorry. I'm not really looking at the yellow
okay,
parts.
okay.
Yeah, I'm just looking at now grouping them by the things that you do. Okay, we're making some
So
arrangements.
before you look at this and you're wondering if I ever eat at all, it's because while I'm eating, I'm watching stuff. So that's why I put it together. I never just eat and not do anything.
Okay.
So that's the problem.
Let me ask you something. Are you able to focus when you're watching and eating at the same time? I find it difficult personally.
I can focus, yeah.
Okay.
I
Alright.
passively eat. I don't. Yeah, I passively eat. I don't
Okay,
passively consume the media.
You actively consume the media, but you passively eat.
Yeah.
Okay, so sometimes you put in the wrong orifice, like,
Sometimes I just
or is it just a trough and it's just like
Once
shoved
you
in your
binge
mouth?
Netflix and you finish a whole
Okay.
family bag side of chips.
Okay, so this is pretty important, and we got to this state here. We have a snapshot of your day. Okay, so I don't see any social media on here.
Huh?
Oh, there it is. 1 hour. Only 1 hour? That seems also sketchy, man. Go look on your phone. Look on your phone. It'll tell you.
No, I was looking on my phone.
Did it say an hour?
It's everything combined. It's about an hour. Maybe
Okay.
Sometimes, give or take, like 20 minutes, but.
Yeah, I
an
probably
hour.
spend 4 hours on social media myself, so we'll get into that later. Okay, so there we are. That's what the snapshot looks like.
Yeah.
Okay, we've learned nothing just yet. We've learned nothing. This exercise was just for us to kind of record what we think we do. So the next prompt I'm going to give you, what camera am I looking at? That camera? The next prompt I'm going to give you is this, is for you to actually then tomorrow, with a piece of paper when you wake up, start recording how you spend your time in 30-minute chunks.
Okay.
Now, the act of you recording yourself will change what you actually do.
Yes.
But since you already kind of record yourself, it shouldn't change too much, right?
Yeah.
We just want to make sure. So some of you guys who don't actively track your time, you'll start to realize because you're watching yourself now that instead of going to get that coffee or just milling about in the kitchen, which Ricky does quite often, he will sort of suddenly think, oh my God, I wrote down 3 hours for editing. I better get on the machine again. So this is how athletes work. This is how bodybuilders work. They measure and record every single thing.
You're viewing your footage.
You're recording it because once you start to become aware of it, you start to make different decisions because you know somebody's watching you.
Yeah.
You're watching yourself.
I'm managing myself.
Okay, perfect. All right, let's move on. Next sheet here. All right. All right. Now, okay, Peter, have a seat. Now, I want you to think about something that you want to accomplish because I told you at the beginning of this episode, I'm going to teach you how to get more done in the exact same amount of time. I want you to think about something you want to accomplish in the next couple of weeks. Let's try to do a 2-week sprint. It could be a 4-week sprint. It could be a half-year goal. I don't really care. Just think about that thing, okay? Do you know what it is that you want to do, Peter? And do you know what it is that you want to do, Ricky? You do, right? So Peter, you're first. Peter, what do you want to do?
I don't know.
You don't know.
It seems like Ricky knows.
Okay, Ricky, come on in here. Step on in. What do you want to do?
I want to read more books.
How many more books do you want to read?
I would like to finish the book I'm currently reading.
Okay, you just want to finish one book. That's a perfect goal. So I'll use a different color as to not to confuse our audience, which I don't have. I have purple, I suppose. So Ricky wants to read a book. Okay, that's his goal in 2 weeks. Read one book in 2 weeks. What book are you reading?
Cinematography Theory and Practice.
Whew, this sounds like a heady subject there. Okay, Ricky's goal is he wants to read one book in 2 weeks. In order to accomplish this goal, what do you have to do?
Allocate more time to it.
How much time?
If I doubled
Every day, how much more time do you have to spend every single day? An hour a day?
I'd probably have to devote an hour more a day. So,
Hour or more?
Yeah.
Okay, let's say an hour and a half.
To make it 2 hours total.
No, 2 hours. How much time? You
So
say 2
if
hours?
we say-
No, don't.
Okay.
Just follow along with the
Okay.
program. How much more time do you need every single day to be able to read this book in 2 weeks? You know yourself better than me.
Right.
So
Yeah, I need 2 hours.
2 hours. Okay. So we're gonna give you 2 more of these tokens, right? So we're gonna say read. In order to accomplish this goal, you're gonna have to read. Okay. That's right here, and you have to read. Okay. So far, so good. Okay. Now, what you have to do is you have to look at this and figure out what things you have to give up. Taking off 2 hours from this looks like a lot.
Right.
So now you have to make that decision. I'll leave you to make that decision, okay? So when you're done, you have to put 2 units of time down here, 2 hours worth of time. It could be done in chunks of half hours, whatever, it doesn't really matter. If you want to dice these things in half, you can as well. But you have to basically take that and put it down here so the math still adds up. So your total time, if I recall, was 18 hours. You spent a lot of time awake. Is that right?
Yep.
18 hours? Okay. But people always accuse me, my maths are not good. I'm like, just want to make sure it's still good. So your total time awake is 18. Boom. That's a lot of time, man. You, in theory, should be able to accomplish everything you want in your life, given how much time you put away. Seriously. Because you're a single guy, relatively speaking. Right? With that imaginary girlfriend, imaginary lady friend. Okay, so let's go at it. So go ahead and move things on here. And you can play around with this and then put something down here. Okay? Go ahead. You can just put the mic here. I'll move this out of your way so you can step on this. Okay, so Peter, did you figure out what you want to do in the next 2 weeks?
I want to create content, YouTube video.
Great. You want to create a YouTube video, right? What kind of YouTube video?
Educational one. I want to teach a concept that I know.
Okay,
Or
and have you
teach
made
something I'm learning, yeah.
have you made YouTube videos before?
Yes, I have.
Okay, so you want to make one new YouTube video in the next 2 weeks, or 1 week, or how many videos do you want to make?
1 a week.
1 per week. So
One
we're
per
gonna do
week.
this as a 2-week sprint.
Mhm.
That's fine. It's okay. You want to do
It's okay, just say 1 for 2 weeks, but
one
my turnaround
YouTube
time
video.
is really slow.
per week. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So I'm gonna leave your goal over here off to the side so we don't confuse our audience. Okay. We're gonna do 1 YouTube video per week. I also now want you to take the post-its
Mhm.
and write down the tasks that you have to do. So get really granular if you can. So you probably want to use the blue one. You might have to research, you might have to write, use, shoot, edit, do post, do all that kind of stuff. So go ahead and do that.
Okay.
Whatever you need, however much time you need. If it's 1 hour, 10 hours, whatever you want. Okay? Entirely up to you. Okay. Ricky? You transfer all these things over here while removing 2 hours worth of time. Just try. Where'd you go? Just moving one at a time. You don't have to do that anyways. You know what you're doing this, right? So I'm curious when we're done here. Cut yours in half. You're still half an hour short. Okay, so you have a big decision to make now. This is perfect. Okay, so let's review real quick. So Ricky's transferred all of his tasks from over here to here, things that he wants to do, with the additional goal of reading one book for the next 2 weeks. And he knows he needs to spend an additional 2 hours a day to read. So given however many days you can read, okay, we're looking at something like that. Probably we're talking about 2 days, right? So we have this. A probably more accurate way to do this too is also look at your weekend time, how much discretionary time. So the things that you're doing on the weekend, this might be also very helpful to do this just for the weekend, because the weekend time is going to look a little bit different. Okay, so I would instruct our audience to go ahead and do one for your weekend as well, and do the same exercise and repeat it. So how are you going to steal another half an hour away? You have to break something into.
Yeah.
Can I get the blue post-it pad back from you, Peter? Do you have enough? Take it. Okay. All right. Ricky?
What's going on? This is a hard decision. I don't see a whole lot of things to steal from, so it's getting
down to it
it's
now.
getting down to
You
it.
got to give up something, dude.
Yeah. Well, I'm just trying to be like realistic too.
There's
so
things that you can't move.
Right.
For example, you have to be at work. You have to be at work. You can't not brush your teeth.
Right.
You can. Let's look at this. Let's put a red dot on anything that you possibly could live without. Put a dot on it. Right.
Even though. Just kidding.
Those are work-related things. Right. Kind of. Okay, there you go. That's perfect. Okay, this will help us. Now step back a little bit so everybody can see to that side. Okay, so now Ricky has put red dots on things that he could possibly live without. So now he has to just steal another half an hour away from this. He's going to be able to hit his goal. So Ricky, what are you going to do? Social media?
Cut it in half.
Can you do that?
To 30 minutes a day, yeah,
Yeah.
because I'm cutting an hour. I'm cutting an hour off.
Okay. Okay, so you're going to do half an hour social media, right?
Yeah.
Okay. This has to be something you can commit to. So
Right.
now, when you grab that iPhone,
Rubber meets the road.
you're gonna have to like say that's it. Okay, so social media. Okay, so I exchange you there. And down here. So it turns out you could have just grabbed the 1 hour social media and dropped it to the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
You weren't quite ready to let that one go just yet.
Yeah.
What does P work again?
Personal work.
What is personal work?
Just side projects I'm trying to work on.
At home?
Yeah.
Side projects you work on? Photos?
Yeah, either that or just working on trying to make a video or something.
Okay, so let's just make sure our math adds up again. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. Oh, I messed up.
17.
Okay, I did. All right. These got too dangerously close down here. Let me just move these up. Okay, so our time still adding up to be 18.
Mm-hmm.
So this is perfect. Now, if say, for example, you could not possibly cut it away half an hour, you know what you have to do?
Sleep less.
Sleep less, wake up earlier.
Mm-hmm.
So, or potentially learn how to do the things that you're doing more effectively or efficiently.
I see.
Okay. Now, is this something that you could possibly do?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is great. Why don't we take a picture of this on your phone?
Yeah.
So that we have a map of this, and then we'll clear this, and then we'll get Peter's in here, okay? That's it. That's 1 minute of social media right there.
All right, I'm good.
Okay. Did you take a picture of it?
Yes.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Okay. So now we'll take this down. And Peter will bring up the other board in a second. So Peter, how much time did you add? Total?
A lot. I'm not sure.
Why don't you count? You're gonna have to give up a lot, man.
I know.
But you have a lot to give.
Well, this is a week. This is over a week.
Yeah, so you have to give up.
Oh, within a day.
You have to keep the units consistent, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
So theoretically, if you multiply it or divide it by 5, it will give you what you need to do in a day, right?
Yes.
Are there any questions from the people who have tuned in thus far? Jonah? People are trying out? Okay, I'm glad to hear that you're trying out. And if you have questions, just let me know. So we're going to put this one back in here. You want to do one YouTube video, and we will bring back your chart. Okay. I'll keep this here. Put a magnet on it. Out there. Okay, so we have that. So you have a total of 16 hours, right?
Yeah,
Why the heavy sigh?
because I just realized the process for making a video.
Is that a good sign then?
8, 9, 10,
Like,
11. Wait, no,
What a
10,
relief.
11.
That's a lot of work.
I think it's half and half. I think the reason why I'm so slow to begin with is because I didn't write this out, so I was just kind of going with the flow of things.
Sure. Now, how much time are you? Go ahead and add your new task on. To be able to create one YouTube video a week, what do you have to do? All right.
So I have to write the script, right? Well,
Yeah.
no, I have to. This is actually doesn't matter. Basically, I have to create an idea list.
You need to hold that mic closer to your mouth for
All right.
everybody to hear you.
Create the idea list.
Yeah.
Then I have to prioritize the video ideas.
Okay.
I have to. Where's the? Oh, write the scripts.
Okay. I'll tell you what. You did this the right way, but for the sake of our audience,
Yeah.
I'm going to have to do this a little bit differently. Okay.
Okay.
I'm going to have to just say one day, how much time do you have to dedicate? Because let's say it's a 5-hour work week.
Yeah.
You have 5x. How much time do you have to do all this stuff? How much time do you need?
Every day.
No, like total. And then we'll just divide it by 5.
Oh, total? I counted 10.
So you okay, so that's what we're going to do. You can take all these things, move them to the side. I'm going to give you 2-hour pieces, and I'm going to do it like this. This is perfect. Okay, so you're going to need to write, produce, edit, video. Okay? And we're just going to write 2 of these things.
All right.
Okay? That seems about a reasonable
Yeah,
amount of
yeah,
time,
that's
2
fair.
hours
That's
a day,
fair.
right? So write, produce, write that again. Write, produce, edit, video. So the granular steps, I'm glad you mapped it out. Now you know. Okay, now you too have to eliminate 2 hours from your day. You have a lot of room to give up. So go ahead and transfer these over, and we should be able to see 2 hours down here.
Okay, I was writing, so I didn't see how this process was. Did I just tack?
You just move them over,
All right.
but you know that at the end of the day,
Mhm.
you're going to have to take 2 hours worth of time and put it down here.
Oh, this is what I'm throwing away.
Yes.
Okay.
Because you've added 2 hours to your day.
All right, realistically,
Okay,
I'm going
right.
to take this one out first. And I
Okay,
have a very
go
good
ahead.
idea of what I'm going to do. And maybe a little bit.
Here, let me just take the mic so you can do this a little bit faster. So he's got to go through this process too. So after auditing his time, he's come up with a new goal, something that he wants to accomplish because he wants to get more done in the week. So he's going to transfer these things over and start to make the hard decision of where he's going to spend his time that's going to contribute to his overall goals. That's what he's trying to do. No. You keep doing your thing, dude. Oh, it's okay. He's supposed to like zoom in, zoom out. It's all good. Do it, dude. Push in right here. Just give them a more active breathing camera. Let's go. Right there. So he's transferring. This is perfect. And then the wide camera, is the wide camera working okay or not? It is, right? I just need to step in a little bit. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to take a moment right now while Peter's doing this, while he's moving things around. I'm going to take a moment here. If you'd like to sponsor this channel, if you're a high-end fashion label, a sneaker manufacturer or something like that, we'd love to have your support, okay? None of the clothes I'm wearing is sponsored by anybody yet. I would love it to change very soon. Because we all can walk around with amazing clothing here, right? Like Nike should sponsor us. Their collaborations. Adidas should sponsor us. G-Star should. What do? You took out 2 hours? Okay, why don't you step over here? I'm going to give you the mic again. Here you go. Okay.
Thank you.
So I can remove this now. Get this out of the way. Ooh, this is a powerful magnet. All right, let's look at this. For some reason, you were able to cut these things really fast.
I'm very
Ricky had a harder time. Because those were all like, oh, what do I do with my life, right? So you cut away an hour's worth of YouTube videos and an hour of video games. Did this hurt you?
Not really.
Why don't you cut more then?
I want to, but I don't know if that's realistic.
So it did hurt you.
Well,
You play 3 hours of video games a day.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
But I feel guilty doing it, so it was really easy for me. Like, I know I should, and if I'm like kind of forced to do it with a plan, then I'm like, I can. But realistically, if I took off one more chunk of an hour, I don't know if I could do it. I would like to, but
Now, I'm going to share a personal story with you. I used to play video games quite avidly. Like, I would spend probably at least 2 hours a day playing video games, whether it's Halo, Call of Duty, or whatever other video game, Skyrim. I was playing a lot of video games. And here's how my life has evolved. Once I started getting really serious about the future, I cut out video games entirely. I don't play video games at all. I have a brand new PlayStation 4 sitting in the box with the video game that I want to play, and it's still in the box. My son from time to time was like, Dad, are we going to set that up? I'm going to set that up because as soon as I set up, I'm going to feel like I have to play it, and I don't want to play it right now. So I've given up a lot of things. I've given up, like I said to everybody, gym time. I've given up the video games. I've given up a lot of stuff. I've cut out a lot of news watching and watching on TV. Okay? So just letting you know. These are the choices we have to make. On the one hand, we say to ourselves and to people we care about, we want to accomplish some goal. But then when it comes to the action and the follow-through, we're not willing to give up any of the things that we like for the things that we need. So these are kind of the big decisions that you need to start working on, okay? If you want to stay really fit, you might want to take another half an hour here and steal it from a half an hour of video games. Because you might soon be developing that video game body.
yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Dad bod?
No, just video game body.
Video game
You're
body,
not
okay.
even a dad, dude. So
Well,
you
I
can't
might actually take off Netflix instead, because I mean, I work in video games, so I kind of want to, stay in touch with it, right?
Okay, all right,
Yeah.
well, whatever. So those are decisions you need to make, okay? So when you add in the thing that you want to do, you're going to have to give up something. How did this process feel for you?
In terms of what?
Look at the camera. In terms of how did it feel? Like, do you feel like this is an easy thing to do? Was this enlightening for you? Was this like, oh, no big deal?
I think in the back of my mind, everything that I did, I was very aware of how much time it took away from the things I really did need to do. But because I go through my life, like I just go through my life, right? I don't really think about it. I'm not very aware of it until you put it all out here, and then you kind of see it. And then once you actually take the challenge to dedicate 2 extra hours towards doing work, that's when I'm kind of like, okay, it might be easier to take this off now because 1, it's a challenge and I like them. 2, it's easier when you put everything out and visually see it.
Yeah. So the next step to doing something like this would be to be able to do the same exercise but for the week. So what I would do is take tasks like working, I would try to combine them all together so that you get the largest amount of work time. Now, I assume learning in here is part of your personal development. This is really important. I like seeing that you actually spend more time on personal development than you do work. Some of this may be cheating because you're saying like you're eating and doing all kinds of weird things while you're learning, right?
That's this.
Oh, media.
Media, yeah.
Media, okay. Okay, so this is your learning time. You've spent at least 3 hours of your waking day to do this. This seems shocking to me that you can make a living while only working how many hours? 3.5, 4 hours?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not making a living yet. We gotta be honest. We gotta be honest.
Yes, we have to be
Yes.
totally honest. So you're saying you're not quite making a living just yet.
No, I'm sponsored by my mom.
What does that mean? You're sponsored by your mom?
She's help. I live with my mom.
You live with your mom?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
that's
she's
fine.
helping me out.
She's helping you out.
Yeah.
How
I
does
mean,
she
I
feel about
do
that?
jobs on the side. So because we set this as an average, right?
Yeah.
I do contracting jobs here and there that allow me to not spend her money
Yes.
if possible.
Yeah, right.
But it's not enough for me to sustain my own living.
Okay, so this is a big kind of moment right here. This is a big moment. May I ask how old you are? If you're not comfortable, don't say.
26.
You're a 26-year-old guy still living at home, which I applaud you for because you got to get focused here. So I would say if I was mom or dad, I was like, you know, Peter, we're cutting this stuff out. You got to get on the program right now, okay? Got to
Yes.
turn the screws on you a little bit because before you know, you're going to be 35 and you're going to be whatever. So I want you to get really focused with your goals because whatever you set out to do, I believe you can do it. In the little time that I've gotten to know you, you strike me as a very focused person who's very goal-driven. We just need to focus on what goal we're trying to accomplish. Now, I'm going to ask you one question. Are you going to turn pro anytime soon playing video games?
No.
Are you close to turning pro anytime soon?
No.
You're like my son.
Not even a streamer. not even a full-time streamer, guys.
Okay, so what I want you to do is I would love for you to chop away. I know it's going to be very difficult. You have basically 5 hours in video games, consuming media, and doing social media. That's a lot of media consumption, right?
Yeah.
That's a third of your day.
It is.
So to me, this is where we need to look at this. Now, if I were to go in there, if you hired me as your personal coach, your life coach, I was like, you know what, we're changing these things. We need to get you another half an hour in the gym. We need to do all these things and then get you on a plan so that you can afford to pay for your own place, to get your career in line, and then you have a ton of time to play video games.
Yes.
Okay, so those are things we need to look at. Okay, so are there any questions right now? Thank you very much, Peter.
Thank you.
Also, thank you, Ricky, for doing this.
Coach
Got a
Doe.
round of applause for you too. All right, all right. Okay, my $100 bill is still on the floor, so things are good. There are no thieves in a building just yet. Okay, so Jonah, are there any questions I need to answer for the people tuning in? No. Zero.
No.
They're not asking questions. You guys have no questions for me? Okay, that's fine. I'm gonna do the wrap up then, and we're gonna.
Oh, that's good. All right, I will help. I will help facilitate. No.
I'm about to do the wrap up. On a different episode, I will show you. In a follow-up episode, I'll do this because I don't want to waste your time and map this out. I believe we understand the exercise. I'm not trying to hide, guys. I'm really not. I mean, I was just.
No, you've done a
working
post
out.
on this.
I did. I'm very
It's on your
transparent
Facebook,
about all
yeah.
this kind of stuff.
If you guys
I
go to
really am.
Chris's Facebook page, I've seen it. There's
Or
a whole
on my
post.
Instagram.
Or on your Instagram,
On my Instagram.
he shows how he allocates his time.
Yeah, I show you how I allocate my time, and I will tell you. I've already told you I spent about 4 hours on social media. Probably
This isn't the
3.5
first time
hours.
he's done this. He's probably had to do it
I'm
himself.
trying to do this for you guys,
Right.
to help you guys, but I know you're curious, and I will show you. I promise I'll show you, okay? Just keep me accountable. So let's do the wrap up now. The wrap up here. Okay. I want you to start acting, thinking, and behaving as if time is money. Time is money, and be literal about it. To be literal about it, like how you save up your money to buy something. And if there's a sale or promotion going on, you're reading the fine print. So you have to be really thrifty about where you allocate your time. It's an investment. You put your time into things that pay off for you, for your life goals, your career, your personal goals, your relationship goals, your spiritual goals, whatever it is. Spend that time very wisely and be very frugal. Okay? Be frugal. Okay? So if you think about the constraints that you apply to time, I mean for money, if you apply to time, you have a different idea. Okay? So try that exercise to think about your time as money and behave accordingly. Next thing is, we have to understand, and this is a quote I found, being busy is the biggest distraction. So we're all kind of running around trying to keep up with what we have to do. We don't take a moment to ask ourselves, is this important? Is this contributing to my life? Because you have to remember, we all have a finite amount. We're all going to expire one day, and you need to squeeze the most from every day that you have, okay? Another idea about this is just a different idea. This is kind of like from Bronnie Ware, like don't die living someone else's dream. So this is tied to this idea that we're busy doing something. If you're going to school, pursuing a degree that you don't love, you are busy living somebody else's dream. And then you're going to come to me when you're 35, 45 years old and say, I've just discovered I want to be a creative person, Chris. What do I do? Well, you've spent, in my opinion, some of the best time that you have. It's never too late. You've spent the best time that you have on things that didn't mean anything to you. So if you haven't done so, go back and watch the episode when we did how to find what you love, how to do what you love, the Ikigai exercise. Do that first and make sure it's for you. This is really important. Okay, I really believe in this. You have one life to live, one shot to do what it is that makes you really happy, and you need to find that thing. The sooner the better, because that means you have more time to invest in that. Okay. What we want to do also is consolidate the largest amount of free time possible. So I would have loved for this exercise for some of you guys to be able to write free time, free time, free time, and start to remove the other stuff. Free time I spend dreaming, thinking, planning for the future. This is what I do. Okay? And this is directly lifted from The Effective Executive from Peter Drucker. This is from Jim Rohn, major in the minor. This is a very, very cool way to remember this concept, in that we make a major effort to achieve minor things in our lives. So right now, you may be doing something that seems like it's really important. You put a lot of time and energy into it because there's a looming deadline, there's a fire that you feel like you have to put out, there's somebody barking in your ear, in your face, telling you all the time you need to do this thing, and it's actually not going to add up to much. So don't major in minors. How do you do that? you have to say no to almost everything. You have to be the thriftiest person when it comes to spending your time. And so when somebody asks you, hey, you want to go out, you want to hang out, you want to do these things, and we were talking about this the other day about, Joan and I were having a deep conversation when we were headed off to the Sony lot. We're talking about how many childhood friends I have. And I told him I have a couple, not many, but I don't make a giant effort to spend time with them because where we started out in life, I'm just so different today. I just don't know what we would talk about, how we could relate. So usually my relationships are kind of in the moment. Because I'm always advancing, evolving, and growing. I will find people who challenge my thinking, who inspire me with things that they're doing. And so I'm constantly trading out friends all the time. I do have a large pool of friends. I have a few people I keep very close to my heart. Other than that, I don't maintain a lot of those relationships. And there are going to be people who come knocking on your door all the time. It happens to me quite often now because I'm a kind of a public person now. People are DMing me all the time and saying, hey, can we jump on a call? Can we jump on a call? No, we can't. I'm so sorry, we cannot jump on a call. Can you speak at this event? Well, it depends on what you want from me. I have a speaking fee. That's how I'm able to say no to almost everything, and that's how I'm able to get what I need to get done. This is how I manage my time. I hope you found this whiteboard session to be helpful to you. If you have, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the bell notification for future whiteboard sessions. We have at least one more of these things already planned for next week, so stay tuned. We'll be back. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next time. Take care. Remember one thing, you're not defined by the past. The future is what you make it. I'm out here. Peace. Have a great weekend. What is up, everybody? Hello, beautiful people. Do you guys appreciate what's happening in the studio today? We got some advanced, fancy lighting here, and we're going to keep this one nice and compact. What are we going to talk about today in our whiteboard session that you guys seem to be loving, right? So let's talk about it right now. We're going to be talking about something about pricing, as you can see, about cost, price, and value, and how we use these terms interchangeably, but they mean something very, very different. Okay, so let's get into it. Before I do, I want to just thank some of the fine folks. Zach, who sent me some money on Venmo. I want to let you guys know that we don't encourage you to do Super Chat. If you want to give us money to support our cause, don't send it via Super Chat because it takes money away from us. If you want to send me money, if you want to send me the future money in support of what it is that we do here, if you find value in these kind of sessions, I want to tell you up front, find me on Venmo, and you can send me cash, guys, at the Chris Doe, and you can find me right there. I'm pretty much this username on almost all social platforms, the Chris Doe. I also want to let you guys know that Matthew has been encouraging me to do this talk. This is originally from our Instagram carousel. He's like, this would make a good video. That's why we're doing this today. But this is a prelude to us announcing the Business Bootcamp, which will be kicking off probably early next year. We're not sure yet, but it's going to be a $5,000 Business Bootcamp. There'll be some details later on in the links below on how you can save money by being an early bird person, okay? Just letting you guys know, Venmo at the Chris Doe. If you guys want to give me money, I'll thank you later. And the Business Bootcamp will be kicking off. I do want to say this, and if you follow the whole pricing strategy that I've mentioned before, I believe this is the last time we're going to run the Business Bootcamp at this price. We're recording some new modules, and we think it's worth a lot more than this. The testimonials that we've been getting from previous graduates in the first 4 cycles have done amazing things for their business. We think this should cost more, so this will be the last time it's offered at this price. Let's get right into it, okay? So when people ask you, how much does this thing cost? How much does this thing cost? How much does this logo cost? How much does this website cost? How much does it cost to run a social marketing campaign for my company? How much? Well, when they say cost, what they really mean is price. And I did a little research. There is such a thing, and if you type on the internet, on Google or wherever, you can type in what is the difference between cost, price, and value, and you're going to find very different things. But I'm going to save you some of the trouble. The kind-hearted people that we are here at the Future, along with Jonah and Ricky, who are joining me in the studio today, I've done the work for you. I've looked it up. I've distilled information down to a smaller bite-sized piece so that you guys can understand the difference between these three words. Let's get into it. So cost. When people ask you about cost, the answer that you're giving them may not be what it is that you think. Being very careful to put these things away for all the eco-conscientious people that it's not being destroyed, it's being saved here, okay? We'll recycle this, okay. Cost. Cost is defined as measured in time, effort for many of you guys, and materials. That sounds really reasonable. And I'll read the definition, paraphrase there. Cost is the amount incurred on the inputs, basically the raw materials, the salaries, rent, interest, taxes, duties, etc., whatever it costs you to make for producing any product or service, okay? It is the amount of money spent by the company is you, in the manufacturing of a product or creation of a service. Does that make sense? Okay,
Yes.
so if you were only to charge your clients what it costs, the best you could hope for is to break even. When you're billing hourly, you are basically giving them the cost of your time. But you're not accounting for things like if you're using your own laptop, your Creative Cloud subscription, your desk, the rent that you're paying to be able to do the work. There's a lot of things that you're leaving off the table. When I was younger, I think I was 16 or 17 years old, I started a design firm making t-shirts. I was working at a silk screening company, and I wanted to sell my services to people. What I didn't account for back then, and if you're a young person not familiar with the way the business works here, is I basically charged people what it cost me to make, thinking that I actually had profit. And quickly, after a couple of transactions, thinking I should have money in my checking account, I came to realize I was running at near break even, or I was actually even losing money. This actually caused some grief between my mom and I, because she was the one who opened up the bank account, and she said, honey, you are losing money, and I just could not figure it out. So some basic accounting, some basic business would have saved my first real business, okay? So when you guys charge people what it costs you to make, you're going to go bankrupt pretty soon. You're going to go out of business, because it doesn't account for any mistakes. It doesn't account for when your clients change their mind about something. It doesn't account for delays. It doesn't account for any mishaps or things that you didn't plan for, okay? Now, when they ask you for your costs, what they really mean is, what is the price to do this thing with you? And so now we enter a new concept, which is called profit. So price is what it costs you to make plus profit. This is the value lesson I wish I knew at 17 years old at a t-shirt company, that I actually had to make a profit. Now, if you get into the theory of labor and value and all that kind of stuff, which Blair Ennis talks about very eloquently, I'm not going to try to do it here myself, but I'm going to try to paraphrase the concept here. Many people think the value of something is what the labor it takes to make it. So if it takes 100 hours for you to make something, and I'm $1 an hour, it should be $100. But that does not account for profit. Now, where does profit come from? And profit, believe it or not, is rather arbitrary, okay? I'm also monitoring the chat here, so I can see you guys chatting here. Let's see where this goes. Okay, so Ali, good morning from the Philippines. Hello, hi, how you doing? Okay, let's get into this. So when a client asks what will this cost, they're asking what is the price of doing this? And so we feel a little sheepish to talk about profit in front of them, but it is implied. Profit is implied. Okay, so what is the rule? Okay, how much profit should you include? Now, Ricky and Jonah, you guys have done some freelance work. Whoever wants to talk about this, what have you included before when somebody asks you for the price of your services? How much money did you include? I'm just curious.
How much money? Like
Yeah.
2,000?
So 2,000 total?
Yeah.
For doing something?
I didn't invoice like a huge sheet of like each detailed thing I did. I just gave them
A ballpark number.
yeah.
Which is actually a pretty advanced thing that you're doing right there. You're giving them a ballpark number. And we'll get into that some other talk, not for this session, but how much profit did you include in the price
That's hard to measure.
Ooh, I didn't include any.
You didn't.
Yeah.
That's the answer I was expecting you to say. Was that you did not include any.
Yeah.
You included zero profit. So you probably looked at your time, right? So if we were to calculate this, you would write down, this is the time. Did you have any other expenses?
Like another camera operator.
Okay, so somebody else's time,
Yeah.
right? So we'll call it an assistant. Okay. Okay, so this is your time here.